You can take a few moments to lower yourself onto your back. And finding your way onto your mat and into Shavasana. Send your feet out wide to the bottom corners of the mat. Releasing through the ankles, let the toes grow heavy. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath you, finding a sense of openness through the chest, the collarbones, the throat. Releasing the head into the mat. But drawing the chin in slightly towards your chest to add length to the back of your neck. As you find yourself lying here in stillness, oftentimes the mind will start to wander. When you notice that happening, just simply drawing your awareness back to your breath. Taking a long inhale through the nose, and a slow exhale through the nose. Inhale, let the belly rise up towards the ceiling. As your exhale, belly softens and falls. Each breath in, inviting a sense of openness into your body. Each breath out, really melting you into your mat, grounding you here in this space. Inviting space into your body with each breath in. And with each breath out, releasing any tension, any stress or thoughts that are no longer serving you. Your mind has started to drift away, you can invite it back into the space you've chosen for your practice. Start to slowly awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Taking gentle rotations through the wrists and the ankles. In both directions. Slide the feet together at the bottom of your mat. Reach the arms up overhead, resting on the floor as you take a full body stretch, lengthening from fingertips to toes. Softly exhale as you release that effort, melting your low back into the mat. Big breath in, full body stretch. With a slow breath out, let that go. Big inhale, full body stretch. And on an exhale, soften. Walk the feet over to the bottom right corner of the mat. The hips stay centered or slightly to the left. As you start to guide your upper body, so the arms, the hands, the head, over to the top right corner of the mat, creating a C shape, a banana shape with your body. The hips are centered or slightly left as you ground down through the left. Option to keep the feet side by side or cross the left ankle over the right. And Just really creating space up the entire left side body here. See if you can expand through the waist on the left side with each breath in. Find some softness. Maybe you're able to go a little bit deeper into the side bend with each breath out. Uncross the ankles if they're crossed. Let the upper body find center. The legs find center as well. Full body stretch here in the center, drawing everything into the midline as you lengthen from fingertips to toes. Exhale, soften. One more time, big inhale to neutralize the spine. And exhale, let it go. Start to slide the feet to the bottom left corner of the mat. Ground down through the right hip as the upper body finds the top left corner of the mat. Option to cross the right ankle over the left. You can even use the left foot to add some traction to the right leg. Reaching the outer right hip down to the mat. Breathing space into the right waist. Creating distance between the right hip and the right ribs with each breath in. And settling into some softness with each breath out. The right hip, the right shoulder in contact with the floor. And slowly bring the upper body back through center as you uncross the feet. Slide the legs through center as well. Take that nice full body stretch. Slowly let that go, drawing the knees in towards your chest, interlacing the fingers around the shins, the thighs, or just taking hold of the knees individually. The spine is long, send the tailbone down into the mat. You can take a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe even taking the knees in circles, just massaging the low back, whatever way feels good to you. Rotating in the opposite direction. And find stillness in the center. Keep the right knee drawn in towards your chest. Lower the left foot onto the floor. Start to send the right heel up towards the ceiling. You can take hold of the back of the right thigh, or you can use a strap to add length to your arms. Really exaggerating the length of the right leg, reaching the right heel up towards the ceiling as if you're trying to touch it. But the right hip is drawn down into the mat, resisting that pull. At the same time, you can add a little bit of pressure to the back of the right thigh, sending the toes beyond the forehead towards the floor behind you. Of course, it will not get that far, I shouldn't say will not, likely won't get that far. But it's just the general direction that you're reaching the toes. Sending the right hip away from the shoulders and down into the mat. Firing up through the hamstring, the back of the right thigh, as you draw the toes towards your face. Keep the shoulders resting softly on the floor. You can bend through the elbows, really activate the biceps as you draw the right thigh in towards your chest. Taking gentle rotations through the right ankle in both directions. Start to slowly bend the right knee and cross it over the left. So it's as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair here. Right thigh over top of the left thigh. With the legs crossed, draw the knees in towards your chest once again, taking hold of the left knee. Send your pelvis into the mat. And we're looking to feel a little bit of activation through the right hip here, a little bit of a stretch there. Just listening to your body. If you're not feeling much stretch, you can start to walk your hands down your shins. So the right hand is walking down the left shin. The left hand is walking down the right shin towards the ankles. Holding on to the outer edges of the ankles or the pinky toe edge of your feet. Start to draw the heels away from one another while you continue to draw the knees in towards your chest. Ankles can be flexed. But just being mindful to keep pressing the pelvis down into the mat. Oftentimes we fool ourselves into thinking the knees are closer to the chest when in reality we're coming into a cat-like back. Rounding through the low spine, making it seem that our knees are coming to our chest, but actually just bringing the stretch more into the low back than into the hips and thighs. Continue to squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. The outer hips away from one another. Slowly release the heels, letting them come back towards one another, being mindful not to let them slingshot. Moving slowly, mindfully. Lower the left foot onto the floor. Keeping the legs crossed here, but give yourself permission to uncross at any time if it doesn't work for you. Arms extend out wide at your sides or come up into cactus formation. Lengthen through the spine. And then slowly, with control, let the crossed legs find their way over towards the left, coming into a twist. Now again, if this doesn't work for you, you can simply uncross the legs and stack them one on top of the other. You can also bring a pillow or a block beneath the knees for some support. Gaze is to the ceiling or over to the right. Breathing space into the lower right belly with each breath. Continuing to reach the right shoulder into your mat. Bring the gaze back through center. The knees will follow. From here, start to slide the right leg off of the left, pausing when the pinky toe edge of the right foot lands on the left thigh. Coming into that thread the needle pose, creating a figure 4 shape with your legs. Right ankle is flexed. Draw the toes of the right foot towards your shin and press the right knee away from your shoulders. Reach through the space you've created in your legs with the right arm, an option to draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder here, taking hold of the back of the left thigh. As the left knee draws in towards the left shoulder, reach the right knee away from the right shoulder. Equal weight in both left and right hips as the pelvis drives down into the mat. You can stay here with the left leg bent or start to reach the left foot up towards the ceiling with a flex in the ankle. Draw the toes towards your face. Keep reaching the right knee away from the right shoulder and press down through the tailbone. You can always use the strap here to add length to the arms and make the thigh more accessible, allowing the shoulders to rest on the mat. Slowly bend the left knee. Let the sole of the left foot find the floor. Release the right foot to meet it, and send the legs long to the bottom of the mat, finding a mini Shavasana here. Arms at your sides, palms face up. You're just surrendering your body to the mat. Doing a gentle scan of the body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, noticing any subtle changes from when you first landed on your mat. Noticing any changes from the left side to the right. And slide the feet together. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Give them a hug. Option this time to take the knees a little bit wider apart. Send them towards your armpits or even the outer edges of the shoulders. Long, straight spine here. Reaching the tailbone away from the top of your head. With the space between the thighs, the belly is able to move freely with breath. Draw the knees in towards one another and lower the sole of the right foot to the floor. Start to extend the left foot up towards the ceiling as you reach behind the thigh and interlace the fingers. It's as if you're trying to reach the left heel up to touch the ceiling here. So the toes draw towards your face and it's the left heel that's guiding the way. The left hip, however, is pressed down into the mat, resisting that pull. As you draw the thigh in a little bit closer towards the chest, the toes behind your head. Taking those gentle rotations through the left ankle, just noticing if this ankle is a little tighter, a little more space than the other side. Maybe the circles on the left are a little bit smoother, maybe a little more jagged. Take the circles in the opposite direction, just noting those changes. Pausing as you come through center. One more breath here. And slowly start to bend through the left leg as you cross the left leg over the right. We're in that cross-legged sitting position. With the right foot on the floor, left leg crossed over the right leg. Start to draw the knees in towards your chest with the legs crossed. And send your pelvis into the mat. Squeeze those inner thighs towards one another and reach the outer hips away from each other, down into the mat. If you're not feeling a stretch into the left hip, into the left glute maybe, then you can start to walk your hands down the shins towards the outside edges of your ankles or the pinky toe edge of your feet. Draw the heels away from one another as the knees continue to squeeze in towards your chest, with the tailbone heavy on your mat. This can be a great stretch for people who suffer from sciatica. Maybe not necessarily while you're in the middle of a flare-up, but to help reduce the risk of it happening. Feeling that stretch into the outer left hip, the left glute, maybe even down the left thigh. Slowly releasing the feet, allowing the heels to come in towards the midline. Lower the right foot onto the floor. Extend your arms at your sides. Lengthen the spine. And on an exhale, let the knees find their way over to the right. Again, supporting this pose in whatever way you need. So filling the gap between the knees and the floor. Uncrossing the legs if you like. Gazes to the ceiling or over to the left side. Keep that left shoulder on the mat. Oftentimes we start to lift the left shoulder in efforts to touch the knees to the floor. That actually just brings you into a side lying position, not even so much of a twist. So work on pressing down through the left shoulder, even if that means the knees are hovering above the floor. Creating distance between the left hip and the left ribs with each breath. The gaze comes up through center. Let the knees find center as well. Uncross the legs. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Again, just taking that gentle rock from side to side. As you uncross the legs, pausing with the left pinky toe edge on the right thigh. Coming into that thread the needle posed or reclined pigeon pose. Send the left knee away from the left shoulder. You can even use your fingertips to gently guide it away, just telling your leg where you'd like it to be. Press down through both hips. That may mean bringing a little more weight into the right. Stay as you are if you're feeling a nice stretch, or you could start to draw the right knee in towards the right shoulder, taking hold of the back of the right thigh. As the right knee draws in, reach the left knee away from the shoulders, the pelvis into the mat. Option to keep the right knee bent or reach the right heel up towards the ceiling with a flexed ankle. The pinky toe edge of the left foot squeezing into the right thigh squeezing into the left foot as you reach the left knee away from the shoulders. The shoulders continue to rest on the mat, and if you notice that they're lifting off, it could be a sign that you should be using a strap to add length to the arms. Maybe you've gone too far. Slowly bend through the right knee. Let the sole of the foot find the floor. Release the left foot to meet the right and draw the knees in towards your chest. Again, taking just a gentle rock from side to side. Maybe taking circles with the knees in both directions. Find stillness in the center as you draw the knees to your chest. Lower the feet to the floor. Right arm comes up overhead as you roll over onto your right side body. You can draw the knees in a little bit closer towards you, really rounding through the spine. Left palm can rest softly on the floor or onto your thigh. Just breathing space into your back body. When you feel ready in your own time, coming up to a seated position. Find your comfortable seat, so maybe that's cross-legged, maybe legs are extended long. And just take a few rotations with the upper body. In both directions. Pausing in the center, and we're going to move through a few seated cat and cows. So with a tall spine, hands on the knees or at the floor beside you. Sitting up tall, the top of your head reaching away from the tailbone. Take a big breath in as you reach the tailbone behind you. Bring your heart forward, gaze comes up. On an exhale, scoop the tailbone beneath you. Round through your spine, chin to chest, gaze to your belly button as you hollow out the chest. Inhale, heart comes forward, tailbone reaches behind you as you gaze up to the sky. On an exhale, tuck the tailbone, pull your belly button towards the spine, the room behind you as you bring your chin to your chest and gaze to the belly. Inhale for a cow-like back. Exhale, cat, rounded spine. Really hollow out the front body. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more at your own pace. Linking each movement to a breath. Letting each cycle be a little bit slower than the one before it. When you finished your 3, landing in a neutral spine, just reaching for a strap. If you're sitting cross-legged, a perfect opportunity to cross in the opposite direction. With your strap in your arms, reach out and hold on to the opposite ends of the strap. So this can be a dog leash, a long sleeve shirt, a belt, a towel, whatever you have. With the arms extended wide in front of you, and take a big inhale as you reach up towards the ceiling. On the exhale, maintain tension in the strap as you lower the arms behind you. So the wider your grip is on your strap here, the easier that's going to be on the shoulders and the upper back. So if you have a little bit of tightness, make sure to reach the hands a little bit further away from one another. If you're looking for a little more of a stretch, walk the hands in a little bit closer. Inhale, bring the hands back up through center. And exhale, lower down. So just trying to maintain a stable, straight spine. Avoid that cat-like back motion that we take while moving the strap. So shoulders stay stacked above the hips. Big inhale, reach up. Belly button draws in to stabilize the back. On an exhale, avoid sticking your chest out in front of you as you lower the arms back down. Big breath in, belly button pulls in, stabilizing the core. Exhale, lower. This is something that you can do while sitting in a chair and pressing your back into the chair. You'll notice if you're moving forwards and backwards to make this happen. Big breath in, reach up. Exhale, lower. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Continuing with your own rhythm of breath. Adjusting your strap, your distance between your hands, however you need, at any time. Just noticing the wrists here. Have they started to buckle? Can you find some strength and stability in the wrists? One more time in each direction. And pausing when the hands come up towards the ceiling. And take the arms nice and wide here if they're not already. Again, checking in the wrists. Oftentimes they start to bend, they start to buckle, collapsing under the pressure. Find strength in them, a nice straight line all the way up the arm and the wrist. Sitting up tall, length through the spine, shoulders draw away from the ears. From here, start to guide the left arm over towards the left side of the room. The right arm reaches up towards the ceiling, maintaining tension in the strap. Breathing space into the right side body. Noticing if the right shoulder is starting to collapse in onto the left. Stack those shoulders. Heart is facing the room in front of you, not caving in the chest. Breathing space into the right ribs, the right waist. Belly button draws in, come back up with breath. And then over to the right. Again, just making sure here that the left shoulder isn't creeping down towards the floor. Length of the left side body, maintaining tension in your strap. Slowly come back up. Release the arms in front of you. Place your strap off to the side as you just start to take some gentle shoulder rolls. Noticing any sensations you may be feeling in the shoulders, in the chest or back. Rotating the opposite direction. And find your neutral. Take a big breath in, reach the fingertips towards the side walls and up towards the ceiling. Palms come together as they meet in front of your heart on the exhale. Big breath in. Slow exhale. One more time. Slowly let that go. Pause for a breath with the hands at the heart, really pressing those palms together. And slow release. We're going to release the legs, extend them long to the bottom of the mat. Maybe give them a wiggle if the legs have been crossed. Taking circles with the ankles, get out any creaks or cracks. And start to bend the right knee here. Bring the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. So that may be up towards the thigh or closer to your calf, doesn't really matter. You want to be able to sit up nice and tall here so you can use your hands behind you to lengthen through the spine. Pressing down through the right knee, down towards the ground. If you do have a big gap between the knee and the floor, you can start to slide the foot a little bit further down your leg. Any pain in the knee, sometimes it feels good to place a pillow or a block beneath it. Start to turn here to face the right knee. Still maintaining that long spine. Inhale, reach up. On an exhale, bring the left arm towards the inside of the left leg, palm faces out. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling and over towards the left toes. You do not have to touch the toes here, so a lot of times people will fold forward and just reach for their toes. And that's not what we want. We want to keep that chest open to the rim in front of you. Reach up and over for a side body stretch. You can use the left elbow to the inside of the left leg if you like for a little traction. Gaze can be neutral or up towards the ceiling. See if you can maintain space between the left shoulder and left ear. Left ankle is flexed, toes draw towards your face. Slowly release this by drawing your right shoulder towards the front, releasing the right arm, and then walking yourself up slowly. We're going to pick up the right foot in the left hand, the right knee in the right. Just holding on to the right foot and the right knee. Just give a gentle sway from side to side. You can hold it in your elbow if you like, as if we're rocking a little baby here. Just bringing some movement into the right hip. Tall spine. And as the right foot comes over to the left, start to lower it down to the ground, crossing the right leg over the left. The right heel is coming towards the outer left hip. So you may be able to cross the right knee on top of the left, letting them stack on top of one another. You may have a little bit more of a gap. Either one is okay depending on how open you are and the shape of your hips. Tall spine once again. We're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward with a flat back. So we're not trying to touch our forehead to our shin here. We're just trying to hinge forward slightly, finding a stretch in the back of the left leg. Draw the toes of the left foot towards your face. And the tailbone away from the top of your head. You can have your fingertips just resting on the floor, or you can use your strap over the left foot. Bend through the elbows, as long as you can do so with a straight back. Once you start to round through the spine, it takes it away from the left thigh and brings it into the low back and can actually lead to injury. Can you maintain a long neck by gently tucking in your chin? Slowly release, come back up. Slide the right leg to meet the left. Give those legs a wiggle, pointing and flexing through the toes in both directions. We're going to move to the opposite side here. So bring the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And if the right thigh is not accessible, just place the sole of the left foot wherever on the right leg it can. Lengthen through your spine and turn to face the left knee. From here, we're going to inhale, reach up. Bring the right arm to the inside of the right leg. Palm faces away from the leg. Stay open through the chest as you reach the left fingertips up towards the ceiling and over to the right. Notice how my shoulder instantly tries to creep down. Consciously draw the left shoulder back behind you. Stay open through the chest. Press down through your left hip. Any pinching or pain in the low back, come out a little ways. It could be a sign that you're twisting too much in the low back rather than finding length. You're compressing through the low back. Slowly release the left hand towards the mat in front of you. Walk yourself back up. We're going to do that gentle rocking of the baby. So take the left foot in the right hand, the left knee into the left hand. Lift the shin up off of the floor. Now just adjusting your grip however it works for you. Maybe you have a hand on the knee, a hand on the foot. Maybe you prefer to take the shin in your arm, holding the knee in your elbow, and just gently rock from side to side with a flat back. Finding a little bit of motion, a little bit of movement into the left hip. And then the next time the left foot comes over to the right, start to lower it down outside of the right hip. Stacking the knees one on top of the other. Or heading in that direction. We're going to inhale, reach up, long spine, long arm. Keep that length as you start to fold forward, bringing your fingertips towards the floor. They're just resting softly there. We're not gripping, we're not pulling ourselves forward. Right toes draw towards your face. Without actively moving the right foot, draw the right hip behind you as if you're trying to move the right heel towards you without actually moving it. Finding length up the entire right leg. Pressing both hips equally into the mat as the tailbone reaches away from the top of the head. Instead of considering bringing your forehead to the shin, think about bringing your heart beyond your ankle. Slowly come back up. Extend the left leg long to meet the right. Give those legs a wiggle. Pointing and flexing as you draw circles with the toes in both directions. And we're going to bend the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together, opening up the legs like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. You can take a few little butterfly motions with the knees here. And then slowly release them, surrendering to gravity. You can always place blocks beneath the knees to make this a little more restorative, a little more supported. The closer the heels are to the pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling here. So to ease off, send the toes, the heels a little bit further away from the pelvis. For this one, we do want it to be a little more passive, so let go of any effort in the legs, the hips. We're going to just slowly round forward. So this time we are doing a rounded spine, but it's very important that you're not gripping, pulling, or forcing yourself down faster. Some of you may very well just still be sitting up tall with your head tipped down a little bit. You just want to find a sense of roundedness through the back. Letting the body feel safe and supported, arms resting at your sides or in front of you, palms face up. Notice if you're active through the neck. Let the head grow heavy, releasing the head towards the floor, letting go of effort in the neck, the shoulders, the upper back, the mid-back and lower. Are all completely at ease and effortless as you surrender to gravity and settle into space. Breathing space into the low back area here, a sense of expansiveness, openness with each breath in. The moment you start to grip, to pull, to force yourself down faster, the muscles will all start to panic, to clench, to tighten, to protect any of the joints in the low back. It's not until the body feels safe and supported that it will start to trust. The muscles will start to ease off, to lengthen, and allow you to sink slowly deeper into the pose. And just simply following the breath as it moves through your body. Noticing how your body may have already sunk a little bit deeper into this pose without any effort at all. Turn the fingertips to face the floor. And slowly, inch by inch, walk yourself back up. Draw the knees in towards one another. As you come to land on your back. Starting with the knees bent, walk the feet a little bit wider apart, mat distance apart, and allow the knees to tip inwards to touch. Just taking a few moments here to release the low back, any tension that may have developed through your practice or in that last pose. Noticing any points of contact in the low back with the floor. These spaces where the low back maybe hovers above the floor. And how that relationship changes with each breath. We're going to heel toe the feet in towards one another. And draw the right knee in towards the chest. Take hold of the right knee as you extend the left leg long for wind relieving pose. Active through the left leg. Reaching through the left heel. The toes drawn towards your face. Allow the right ankle to relax as you draw the right knee inwards. With the left hip stable and firm on the floor, start to take gentle rotations through the right knee. In both directions. Pausing next time you come through the center, release the right arm at your side. Find length through the body, and with an exhale, guide the right knee over your body into a twist. Again, choosing whether or not you'd like a prop beneath the right knee. Gazes to the ceiling or over to the right. Let the gaze come back through center. The right knee will follow. Draw the left knee in to meet your chest. Both knees side by side. Taking circles with the knees, side by side motions, whatever you prefer. And if you're circling, go in the opposite direction. Pause in the center, left knee stays drawn in as you extend the right leg long this time. Toes of the right foot are drawn towards the face, left ankle's relaxed. Squaring up the hips, so send the left hip maybe a little bit away from the shoulders and down into the mat as you draw the left knee in. Right hip is firm on the mat. Avoid lifting it or swaying side to side as you start to take gentle rotations through the left knee. Rotating in the opposite direction. Finding stillness in the center. Release the left hand beside you. Lengthen through the spine, reaching the right heel away from the top of your head as you guide the left knee across your body and over to the right for a twist. Gazes to the ceiling or over to the left. creating distance between the left hip and the left ribs with each breath. Gaze comes back through center, and left knee will follow. Hug the left knee in one last time, and then extend it long to meet the right. Landing here on your back, preparing for your final Shavasana. Just making any last minute adjustments that you need to find comfort and stillness here. Maybe extending through the toes, lengthening through the legs, the arms as well. Starfishing your body, drawing the limbs, the toes, the fingers away from the midline in all directions. And then soften, release, feel the low back melting back into the ground. Let the limbs grow heavy at your sides. The eyes can stay opened or closed, but let the gaze become soft as your head starts to melt into the mat beneath you. Without trying to change the rhythm or rate of your breath, just becoming aware of its presence. Notice how your body starts to naturally take up more space with each breath in, as the front of your body expands in all directions. With each breath out, the entire body starts to melt into the mat, grounding you here in this space and in this very moment. Each breath in, a sense of openness, spaciousness through the body. Each breath out, releasing any last remaining tensions, distractions, frustrations that are no longer serving you here on your mat. The entire body engulfed in stillness. Tissues melting away from the bone as the limbs grow heavy. The entire body, from the tip of your toes to the top of your head, starts to settle into that stillness, bringing a sense of calm, a sense of ease, a sense of relaxation. This space can continue to be yours for as long as you choose it to be. When you do decide to get up and go, do so slowly, mindfully. Let leaving your practice be a part of your practice. Know that that same breath, that same stillness is available to you at any time throughout your day-to-day life. Taking a moment to pause, a moment to breathe. Times of frustration. And such gratitude for you joining me here in practice today and always. Namaste.